We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you this special update.
Update. Your update will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Tune in to Update at 12:15 on Mondays and 5 p.m. on Wednesdays on SOS Radio and on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. on 102.7 FM.
Yes, we're here today with the number 11, the 11th candidate on the UP slate for the upcoming parliamentary elections. We are here with Mr. Miguel the Weever, number 11. Now, a lot of people, he's no stranger to, I think, anybody. A lot of people know his face around, his involvement in different community activities, but I think a lot of people might have been surprised that you actually chose to run because it's just come out of the blue. Miguel is running. How come at this point in time, why did you choose to run now?
Well, quite honestly, thank you first of all for having me. Actually, from the minute I came back from school, and I used to write articles, and you study economics, you're always concerned about the state of the economy. You look at things from the overall larger perspective. And when I used to write articles, they used to ask me about, a number of parties used to ask me if I want to run and get involved in politics, But I never was a believer of getting into politics and you don't really know and understand, politics or what it is about running a country and the economy. Yeah, you got textbook knowledge and stuff like that, but now I find that you always get some experience. And so I concentrated on gaining the experience, getting the real world experiences. Basically, I've been going from a policy advisor and then becoming a manager of a department, and then after that, sector director for the sector of economy and tourism. And then after that, the next challenge was taking we were going from island territory to country, taking that sector and making it basically transition it into a ministry. So it was a number of different challenges that kept coming up that kept me delaying from entering politics because I always wanted to also get the experience of working in those environments because we were never a country before. We never dealt with ministries and all those type of different responsibilities, new responsibilities that we didn't have before. So that challenge was always there, and I'm not the kind of person that's going to start something, leave it in the middle, and then, I like building stuff, getting it to a certain level, and I don't mind handing it over to a next person, take it to the next level. So pretty much reach where career-wise, where I wanted to be because country status was something new. So something is also important to you. And then if you're going to get in politics, it's good to know what that entails, especially a new responsibility, new and other things. So for me, it was, doing that. And I've reached the point where I've done that for 4 years. And now it's time to move on to the next step. And, you have the legislative branch, you have the executive branch, and you're moving also from being an advisor to being a decision maker. So that's one of the reasons why, I think the time is right now for me to enter the arena and do something that I always, deep down inside, I always wanted to do, I always was asked by people. And, I kept it kind of suppressed, but now I've never been more sure and more secure about doing it, and regardless of the outcome. I think this is now the time because this is what St. Martin needs. It needs real, true, good, solid, and experienced representation. New faces, and can help take the country to the next level.
That's right. And you're currently the Secretary General of the Ministry of Tourism and Economic Affairs.
Traffic and Telecommunications.
Okay. You've chosen a green team. It's the first time you're running, right?
Yes, sir.
So you could have chosen anybody you wanted to. You've chosen a green team under the leadership of Theo Heidegger. Why is this team such a good fit for you?
Well, a number of reasons. Actually, back in 2010, after the outcome of the federal elections at that time, I called Theo. I said, we need to do something. And so I was, a major. I would say a major. I was a part of, that inception of the United People Party. I ended up not running at the end of the day, but I still supported the party, of course. But now that I'm ready career-wise to make that next step, and then as you said, as you asked, the question is which party to go with. Naturally, it was if you help and you envision, also be part of starting this party. Of course, you want to be part of the party, take the party to where you want it to be. I also feel, for example, that the leader of the party and is a doer, and he gets the job done, and he knows how to get the job done as well. And I think people believe, whether they agree with him, yes or no, but they know that he's going to get the job done.
Right, can't take that from him.
And that's the confidence that people are looking for. People are tired of, they might be tired of things, but they want to make sure that the job can get done.
Yeah.
And I think people have a lot of confidence and believe that that this party is a party that will get the job done. Not to mention the fact that, people are tired of this unstable governments of coalitions, and you need to have one party in government. And, this is definitely a possibility that that the UP is going to win full all out in the next election.
Right.
And that will then give us the opportunity to really govern like a team.
Right.
And that would be the objective of trying so importantly to win it all out, and then we can then have the full 4 years, and then we do what we have to do and show the people that we are able to do this and we'll do it right.
Right. Now, what qualities do you think you'll bring to Parliament when you're elected at August 29th? What qualities can people expect?
Well, you're going to have a critical, assertive representative in Parliament that is going to act and make sure that all of all of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, to be critical about what is doing, and also to make sure that the people are well represented and the needs of the people are addressed, and that we are working diligently towards addressing those issues. To do things and make sure that we look at things from a balanced perspective as well. I mean, my team is bringing balance, and I think that's something that definitely I want to be able to bring, because it's easy to say I want this, that, and that, but okay, but how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to be maintained? What are we going to sacrifice in order to do it? And make sure we have the support, so that when we come to our set of priorities, that's what we're going to focus on, and not be deviating and working like 7 different individual ministries, and then it's one government, in one country, and it will be one party as well. So that way you can work as a team and move it forward. And that's what you want to do. Make sure that the train keep moving forward. Of course, my experiences from my past job, or my current job, will help me to be able to facilitate with legislative changes that will be coming from the organization, but also hopefully some initiatives that will be coming from Parliament itself.
Now, when I'm not elected to Parliament, you are still available to serve the party and the people as requested. Like, for example, if you're requested to serve as minister, for example, that is something you're willing to do.
Sure, of course.
Right.
If that's what the people wanted to elect you to be, as such as considered, when you're outrightly elected, they're sending a message.
Right.
Certainly, if that's what the people want, that's what we're here to serve.
Right.
And of course, if the party wants me to serve in any capacity that I am capable, or they consider me capable of functioning, I will definitely help the party with whatever way I can do that.
Right. Now, a lot of issues facing St. Martin from top to bottom. Anything specifically that you'll be focusing on the campaign trail, and what your message will be built around? Anything specific, or it's just a wide area? Well,
I have a number of things that I think are very, very important. When I look at, really about creating a plan for St. Martin, one of the things we need to do is get our financial house in order, because there's a lot to be done that needs to be done, but how are we going to pay for it? So because either we have to sacrifice some things for it, or find some other ways to generate some money, or get money to be able to do it. And then we can then do things that will generate income, attract businesses, and create some jobs, and by stimulating some type of industries, so that jobs can be, because that's what people really want at the end of the day.
Right.
They can take care of themselves and their family, and bring that society and keep it in a very balanced way.
Right.
But my areas, of course, would be like that I'm very adamant about is economy, labor, and education, because they're all very much linked.
Each other, right?
Yeah, they are very much linked, And I think one of the reasons, for example, when it comes to education, I think I'm very strong. If you look at some of the reasons why some of the students aren't doing this well, and if you look at the dynamics of our population, for example, there's a need for children to get help with their work, because sometimes their parents are either too tired, the language barrier, or whatever it is, that they can't get help with their schoolwork.
Right.
Whereas if we try some way to extend the school hours for the afternoon, and where the children can get help with their homework, where they can get after they do the homework, they could, of course, they will eat a meal after school hours. They will then do their homework first, and then afterwards, every day we'll do something different: sports, arts, discipline. So you have things like whether it's yoga, martial arts, things that teaches discipline,
Right.
community service, And then Friday could be a field trip. But community service is one of those key things so that you can teach the children from very young that they must be giving back.
Right.
So, and I think if you start to instill that as a normal way of in life, then becomes the norm.
Right.
You see, so I think it's very important that that those things have been done, because then the children then the parents don't have to pay for afternoon school. Because when you look at some of the low income folks that they can't afford afternoon school, for one child, most of the time they got 2 and 3, and then the language barrier, they can't help the children, and the children, when they don't do well in school, then they get distracted the classroom, and then the other children get affected. So, the children need to get the help, and it's going to be costly, but maybe instead of doing certain things, those are things that structurally they can have a system in place where they can get some good help. And of course, the labor market, we are preparing the students in the education system, we're preparing folks to come into the labor market who will then be able to work in the economy.
Right.
You see, so that's where those are some of the things that you want to make sure that those things get done. And of course, some of the abuse that is going on in the labor market, you certainly want us to address. And so those are things that we're passionate and persistent about.
Right. And of course, I mean, you've had vast experience in tourism, economic affairs, so all these things can be touched on. So if any questions about tourism, economic affairs, voters can feel free to come up to you and ask you anything.
Sure.
All right.
So,
you're also a community-minded person. I mean, you were not long ago awarded by the SHT as Person of the Year. You've done a lot. You're a sportsman. You've done a lot. You work a lot with kids. Tell us a little bit about, especially the sports part in your community involvement.
You see, I've always been a person that I have done things and I don't really like to put myself out there that I'm doing because I don't do it for that.
Yeah. But we got to tell you put it out now because you do a lot.
Yes, and the people that you have to do because a lot of people don't know what you do.
Correct.
I've been the president of the Parents Association for the Genevieve, the Weever School, because my daughter used to go to school there.
Right.
I've been a coach of a softball team. I've been a coach of a mini league basketball team, and actually that one is very interesting because for the mini basketball team named Junior Cats, because actually when I was the president of the Parents Association of that school, they were going into the school had a basketball tournament they had to participate in, but the team didn't have no coach.
Right. And
it was something that just ended up was for basically a weekend. And I said, okay, let me help them. And just that weekend experience turned into 3-4 years of winning championships with this team. This team has always been, has continued to win the championship, even to 2014.
Just from that one.
Just from that one, and that's to show that the kind of person that I am. When I start something, I stick with it, and some of them even see me as like a second father because we do so much together as well, Right. But so those are some of the things, the things that I do, for example, that no one knows. Yeah. I at least 2-3 times a week, I help students in the school that need to have challenges with reading. Okay. And it's amazing just by doing that. You can see how children who started in only a couple of months, you can see children who couldn't even read a paragraph now reading a full page with very little mistakes. Yeah. It's just by putting in some time. I didn't do that from any association. I did that
from you.
From me.
Right.
The school asked me if thing, and I told them sure I'd help. And those boys look forward to me coming and helping them, and the difference, it just gives you like goosebumps just thinking about it, right. Of how, that has such an impact, and I didn't do that because of the politics.
Right.
And those are things I will continue to do. Those are regardless.
But those are good qualities because you're going into parliament. I mean, you don't always have to be tooting your horn. You just need to work. Yeah. And people just need you to work and get a job done. Right. If you also have a message for our people, going into this campaign, and it's an important election. All elections are important. This is important because we want to win, or we need to win outright.
That's right.
If you're supposed to have a message for the people, what would that message be?
My message would be, this is a very serious election. This is an election. It is a time in our country. We've seen what instability has caused. We've seen what instability can do. Now it's time for us to make sure that we put a party in government with a full mandate to govern for 4 years, to take care of the people's needs in a balanced way.
Bring in balance.
Bring in balance.
Miguel, thank you very much. The number 11 candidate on the UP slate this parliamentary election. Go out and support, and good luck.
Thank you.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast to bring you this special update.
Your update will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Tune in to Update at 12:15 on Mondays and 5 p.m. on Wednesdays on SOS Radio, and on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. on 102.7 FM.